kids taking up heights and distance. Now before we go to the sums, let's understand few concepts. First comes, what is line of sight? Say for example, your eye is over here, okay, and you are seeing an object which is over here. So this line becomes your line of sight. Okay, the line from where you can, from the eye of the person can see an object, that becomes a line of sight. Then comes the term angle of elevation. Angle of elevation is, say for example, you are standing on a ground floor and you want to see the top of the building. So when you are seeing it, it forms an angle to the horizontal. This becomes the angle of elevation. So when we are looking up at the object, that becomes the angle of elevation. Then what is angle of depression is the other way around. Say for example, you are at the top of the building and you are seeing an object over here. Okay, so this angle becomes the angle of depression. When you are seeing down, the angle that is formed is called as angle of depression. There is a very good relationship between angle of elevation and angle of depression. Now we know that these two angles will be equal. Why? Since these two lines are parallel, they are horizontal line. So these forms alternate angles. So we always say that angle of depression is equal to angle of elevation. Okay, come on, let's start with the exercise. Let's start exercise 23. The first question, the angle of elevation of a top of a pole. Now first thing children, you will have to draw the diagram. That is important, drawing of a diagram. The angle of elevation of a top of a pole. Say this is a pole. This is the top of a pole. So angle of elevation would be like this. Correct? This is the angle of elevation. So the angle of elevation of the top of a pole from a point on the level ground and 15 meters away from the pole. So this is 15 meters away from the pole. So this is 15 meter and the angle is 30 degree. Okay, find the height of the pole. You have to find h. We have already done in trigonometry identities. So I want to find h and I have been given this information. So what will you take? Which value will you take? Sine value, cos value, tan value, which value you will take? Opposite upon adjacent. So you will take tan value. So tan 30 is equal to h upon 15. Correct? What is the value of tan 30? It is 1 upon root 3 is equal to h upon 15. Cross multiply, 15 is equal to h root 3. So h is equal to 15 upon root 3. Now the value of root 3, always remember the value of root 3 is 1.732. If in the question it is given 1.732, you will take that. Otherwise you will have to take the value of root 3 as 1.732. Now how do you solve this? So easier way is to rationalize it. So you will multiply root 3, the numerator and the denominator. So this will become 15 root 3 upon 3. Okay. Now 3 5s are 15. So h is 5 root 3, which is 5 into 1.732. So 1.732 into 5. 5 2s are 10, 15, 16 1s and 5s are 35, 36, 3 ends are 8. So answer is 8.660 meter. Yes? Come on, let's go to the next one. Let's go to question number 2. From the top of a cliff, let's draw a cliff. Cliff is nothing but a hill kind of thing, okay? Which is 50 meter high. The height of the cliff is 50 meter. The angle of depression of the boy is 30 degree. So angle of depression means from here it goes like this. This is 30 degree. Angle of depression, okay? Calculate to the nearest meter the distance of the boy from the foot of the cliff. You have to find this. Now what is the rule? What is the relationship between angle of depression and elevation? Angle of depression is equal to angle of elevation. So this will become 30 degree. Now opposite is given to you. You have to find adjacent. So what you will do? You will find tan 30. Tan 30 is 50 upon, let this be x, upon x. Okay, value of tan 30 is 1 upon root 3. is equal to 50 upon x. Cross multiply, x is equal to 50 root 3, which is 50 into 1.732. Children, now easier way to solve it. There is 1 0, so shift this over here. So this will become 5 into 17.32 multiplied 17.32 times 5. 10, 1, 15, 16, 1, 30, 86. So this is 86.60 meter. This will become the distance from the foot of the cliff. Okay, come on, let's go to the next one. Let's go to question number 3. A vertical pole is 12 meter high. This is a vertical pole and it is 12 meter high. The length of this shadow, the shadow of this will be like this, correct? When you're seeing this, see the shadow will come this way, okay? And the length of the shadow is 12 root 3 meter. What is the angle of elevation of the sun? You have to find the angle of elevation, theta. Okay, you don't know now what is this, so you will take this as a theta. Now, opposite is given, adjacent is given, so you can use tan theta. Tan theta is 12 upon 12 root 3, correct? 12 and 12 gets cancelled, what is left? 1 upon root 3. So, what would the value of theta be? The angle would be 30 degree. Why? Because tan 30 is 1 upon root 3. Okay, come on, let's go to the next. Let's go to question number 5. The length of a string between a kite and a point on the ground. For example, this is a string, okay? You are tying a kite over here. Will you be able to fly a kite vertically? No, it will always be slanting, right? So, the length of a string between a kite and a point on the ground. Say this is a point on the ground and the kite is flying like this. So, the length of the string, this is 85 meter, okay? If the string makes an angle theta with the level ground, it is making an angle theta with the level ground such that tan theta is 15 by 8. Now, is the value of tan theta 15 by 8? No. Whenever we are writing in fraction, it is always in the simplest form. We have already done that. So, tan theta is 15 by 8. That means opposite we will take, let the height be 15x and the base be 8x. Why? Because tan theta is opposite upon adjacent. So, opposite is this and adjacent is this. But 15 is not the value, it is in a simplified form. What you have to find? You have to find the height of the kite. Okay. Now, looking at this, we know this is the right angle triangle. We can use Pythagoras theorem. So, based on Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square, which is 85 square, is equal to height square plus base square. Yes, we know the Pythagoras theorem. What is hypotenuse? So, this is the right angle triangle. So, a longest side which is opposite to right angle is the hypotenuse. So, hypotenuse square is equal to height square plus base square. So, 85 square is 7225. We can find the square of number ending with 5. Please check my shorts for this. Is equal to 15 square is 225 x square plus 8 square is 64 x square. Okay. So, 7225 is equal to 289 x square. So, we can say x square is equal to 7225 divided by 289. Okay. So, what is x? X would be square root of 7225 upon 289. Okay. So, x is equal to 7225. You want the square? It is 85. 289, it is 17. Now, you can reduce it. 17 5s are 85. So, the value of x is 5. Now, you have to find height. So, what is the value of height? It is 15x, which is 15 into x is 5, which is 75 meter. Clear? Chalo, let's go to the next one. Let's go to question number 6. A vertical tower is 20 meter high. This is a vertical tower and the height is 20 meter. Okay. A man standing at some distance from the tower. If this is a tower, say a man is standing here. knows that the cosine of the angle of elevation would be this. Okay, so cosine of angle of elevation, that means cos theta is 0.53. This is given. How far is he standing from the foot of the tower? So this you have to find. Let this be x. Okay, so what is cos? Cos is adjacent upon, this is hypotenuse, right? Correct? So we don't know base, we don't know hypotenuse. So using Pythagoras theorem, let's find it. So hypotenuse square is equal to 20 square height square plus base square. So we can say hypotenuse is square root of 20 square, which is 400 plus x square. Children, you cannot remove the square like this and write 20 plus x. No, you can't do it. This is all this is, you have to take it as one term. Okay, now hypotenuse, you got it as 400 plus x square. Hypotenuse is root of 400 plus x square. Let's substitute it. Cos theta is adjacent, which is x, upon square root of 400 plus x square. What is the value of cos theta? 0.53 is equal to x upon root of 400 plus x square. Now this is a square root sign. You will have to remove the square root sign. So what you will do? Squaring on both the sides. So this will become 0.53. The whole square is equal to, x will become x square upon 400 plus x square. So this square root sign will go away when you are squaring on both the sides. Now you can watch my video where I have shown you squaring of a number starting with 5. Okay, so this would be 0.2809 is equal to x square upon 400 plus x square. Cross multiply 0.2809 into 400 plus x square is equal to x square. Okay, now this into this. I'll erase this. Let's continue over here. So there are two zeros, so you shift the decimal to two decimal places. So this means 28.09 into 4 you will do, plus 0.2809 x square is equal to x square. Okay, now 28.09 you can do it only. 9 4s are 36, 3 4 zeros are 0 plus 3, 8 4s are 32, 3 4 2s are 8, 112 plus 0.2809 x square is equal to x square. Now take this x square to the other side. 112.36 is equal to x square minus 0.2809 x square. Here there is no number, so by default it means 1. Okay, so just subtract it. 1.0000 minus 0.2809. What you will get? You will carry this 0, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1. So 1, 9, 1, 7, 0.7191. So 112.36 is equal to 0.7191 x square. Generally children, in heights and distance you make mistake in calculation. So you should always find an easier way to calculate so that you avoid silly mistake. Now x square is equal to 112.36 divided by 0.7191. Divide it. So when you divide it, 11236 upon 100 into 7191 up into 10,000. Two zeros cancel. Erase, cancel it. So you will get the answer, nearly answer as 156.25. Approximate answer. So x square is 156.25. Now find the square root. For finding the square root also you can check my video where I have shown you easier way to find the square root. So this would be approximately 12.5 meter. So how far is he standing from the foot of the tower? It is 12.5 meter. I hope it's clear. Come on, let's go to question number 7. At a point on a level ground. Okay, so let's draw this. This is the ground, a point on a level ground. The angle of elevation of the top of a tower. This is the tower. So the angle of elevation is theta. This is theta. Okay, such that tan theta is 7 by 12. Okay, on walking 64 meter towards the tower. I was here. From here I walked 64 meters. Say I walked till here. So this distance is 64 meter towards the tower. The angle of elevation is null theta. This is null theta, where tan null is 3 upon 4. Find the height of the tower. Okay, so let this be A, B, C, D. Okay, this is 64. Let this distance be x. Now let's solve the sum. So tan theta is equal to opposite, which is h. This bigger h upon base. What is the base? 64 plus x. What is the value of tan theta given? 7 upon 12 is equal to h upon 64 plus x. Cross multiply. So 7 into 64 plus x is equal to 12h. 7 4s are 28. 7 6 are 42. 44 plus 7x is equal to 12h. So 7x is equal to 12h minus 448. Okay. Now let's go to the next one, the smaller triangle. The smaller triangle is this one. What is tan null theta? Tan null theta is h upon x. And what is the value of tan null? It is given as 3 upon 4 is equal to h upon x. Cross multiply. So 3x is equal to 4h. Correct? Now either you substitute any of the values in this. So for example, x is equal to 4h upon 3. This is equation 1. This is equation 2. Now what I am going to do, I am going to substitute this value of x in equation 1. So this will become 7 into 4h upon 3 is equal to 12h minus 448. Okay. Now this will become 28h upon 3. Take 12h to this side, minus 12h is equal to minus 448. Let's solve here. So take the LCM. LCM is 3. 28h minus 36h is equal to minus 448. Okay. So this will become minus 8h upon 3 is equal to minus 448. So h is equal to minus 448 into 3 upon minus 8. Minus minus cancel. Okay. 8 5s are 44. 8 6s are 48. So what is the height? What is the height? So height would be, multiply 56 into 3. 6 3s are 18. 1. 5 3s are 15. 6. 168 meters. Okay. Come on, let's go to the next one. Let's go to question number 8. From 2 points A and B on the same side of a building. Say for example, I draw this building on the same side. Say point A and this is point B. Okay. The angle of elevation of the top of a building from point A, it would be 30 degree, and from B it is 60 degree. Okay. See how to know it. First is point A, it is 30 degree. B is 60 degree. If the height of the building is 10 meter, this is 10 meter. Between A and B, you have to find the distance. That means you have to find the distance between these two. Okay. So let's take this as x and this as y. The distance between this. and I'll name this as A, B, C, D. Okay, let's solve it, children. So first, tan 30. What is tan 30? Tan 30 is opposite. Tan 30 is opposite. Opposite is DC, which is 10 upon base adjacent, which is x plus y. What is the value of tan 30? It is 1 upon root 3 is equal to 10 upon x plus y. So x plus y is equal to 10 root 3. This is your first equation. Okay. Now let's find tan 60. Tan 60 is opposite. Opposite is 10 upon y base. What is the value of tan 60? It is root 3 is equal to 10 upon y. So y is equal to 10 upon root 3. This is equation 2. Now substitute this value of y in equation 1. So what you will get? X plus 10 root 3 is equal to 10 root 3. Okay. Now take this to the other side. So this will become x is equal to 10 root 3 minus 10 upon root 3. So x is equal to, take the LCM as root 3. 10 root 3 into root 3. Children, root 3 into root 3, it is just 3. So 3 into 10 is 30 minus 10. So x is equal to 20 upon root 3. Now how do you solve it? Rationalize it. So into root 3 into root 3. So this will become 20 root 3 upon 3. Now what is the value of root 3? The value of root 3 is 1.732. So x is equal to 20 into 1.732 divided by 3. Multiply first and divide by 3. You will get the answer. So the answer is 11.540 meter approximate. Okay. Come. Let's go to question number 10. The angle of elevation of a top of a tower. This is a tower from 2 points on the ground at distance A. Say for example, this distance is A meter. Okay. And B meter from base of a tower, and this is B. Okay. And in the same straight line with it are complementary. So the angle of elevation. So this is the angle of elevation. Now first understand what you mean by complementary. Complementary means the sum of two angles should be equal to 90 degree. So if one angle is theta, the other angle would be 90 minus theta. Let's take a number. Say one angle is 30 degree. What is the complement? It is for the complement it would be 90 minus 30, which is 60 degree. The same thing I did here. Now let's name it. It becomes easier. A, B, C, D. Okay. Prove that the height of a tower, this height, is equal to root of AB. Chalo, let's solve. What is tan theta? Tan theta is opposite, which is H, upon adjacent, which is A. So we can say H is equal to A into tan theta. This is equation 1. Now what is tan 90 minus theta? It is also opposite upon adjacent, which is B. So we say that H is equal to B. Now what is tan 90 minus theta, children? 9th grade we have learned this complementary trigonometry ratio. So tan 90 minus theta is cot theta. So H will be equal to cot theta into B. B into cot theta. This is equation 2nd. Now let's solve both this equation. So multiplying both this equation, you are multiplying this. So H into H will become H square A tan theta into B cot theta. Okay, so this would be H square is equal to A. Now A tan theta into B into, what is cot theta? Cot theta is the reciprocal of tan theta. So 1 upon tan theta. This and this gets cancelled. So what are we getting? H square is equal to AB. So H is equal to root of AB. This is what you wanted to prove and we have done it. Let's go to question number 11. A man in a boat rowing away from a lighthouse. Say this is a lighthouse. Okay. Now he is rowing away from the lighthouse. That means he is going like this. Away from a lighthouse 150 meter high. So height of the lighthouse is 150 meter. Takes 1.5 minutes to change the angle of elevation of the top of a lighthouse from 60 degree to 45 degree. So the first angle of elevation was 60 degree and now the angle of elevation is 45 degree. So here the time that is taken is 1.5 minutes to reach from this point to this point. Let's name it A, B, C and D. So to reach from point D to point C, he took 1.5 minutes. You have to find the speed of the boat. So speed of the boat, time is given. That means first we have to find the distance between these two. Because if you want to find speed, speed is distance upon time. So first we have to find the distance. So let's start. Tan 45 is equal to, tan 45 is 150 upon say BC. Okay. Tan 45 is 1. 1 is equal to 150 upon BC. So the value for BC or CB is 150 meters. Okay. Now tan 60. Tan 60 is 150 upon DB. What is the value for tan 60? It is root 3 is equal to 150 upon DB. So DB is equal to 150 divided by root 3. Now you can't keep it like that. Rationalize it into root 3 into root 3. So this will become 150 root 3 upon 3. That means it is 50 root 3. So what is the distance? 50 into 1.73. As per the question, in the question they have given 1.73. So when you multiply 1.732, you will get 86.60 meters. Okay. What is this? This is the length for DB. Now if I want to find CD, what is CD? BC minus TB. What is BC? 150 minus 86.6. So answer is 0.4. Come on, subtract it. You will get the answer. It is 63.4 meter. You got the distance. Now you have to find speed. So how do you find speed? Speed is distance upon time. Correct? Now distance is given in meter, which is 63.4 meter. Time is given in minutes. So you will have to convert this to seconds. So it is 1.5 into 60. So this is 63.4 divided by 90. When you divide it, you will get approximate value as 0.7 meter per second. This would be your speed. 0.7 meter per second. Okay. I end this video here, children. Please stay connected for the next part. Till then, bye, take care and God bless.